Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 30th Annual Penguin Club Scholarship Ring Banquet. My name is Rob Schmidt. I'll be your host for the evening. Just a reminder before we get things truly underway to please turn your cell phones to silent or vibrate. I've been asked by the Athletic Communications Department that if you would like to tweet about tonight's banquet, for those of you who like social media, use the hashtag YSU Ring if it's that important to you. Don't ask me about Instagram or TikTok. I know nothing of those. All right, once again, we'd like to thank the staff and management here at Mr. Anthony's for their hospitality. Nice round of applause for those. Always a pleasure to come back here for this event. I'd like to thank Covelli Enterprises for their continued support of YSU athletics. Also, thanks to our friends at Berkland's Flowers for the beautiful centerpieces. And this year, I will not screw this up. You can take the flowers with you. Do not take the vases. Last year, I said take it all. They lost their shirts. Do not take the vases. I am not reimbursing them this year for lost merchandise. I really didn't last year. I don't have that much money. Special thanks to the folks at KDC Printing for their work on tonight's program. Thanks to all of our sponsors who placed ads in those books as well. Would also appreciate the work of LED3 for the use of their video screens, and Greg Roten in the back from Armstrong. He is recording tonight's banquet. It will be posted on YouTube and then on Armstrong channels 20 and 100 if you can't get enough of it live here tonight. Before we move any further, though, there are some people from the YSU Athletic Department that we'd like to recognize, starting with the Executive Director of Athletics here at Youngstown State, Ron Strollo. He probably will not stand, but a nice round of applause for Ron. Also, thanks to Jim Morrison, Tom Morello, and Andrew Wingard for coordinating tonight's event. I'd like to recognize our Associate Athletics Directors, Rick Love, Emily Wallet, and Elaine Jacobs. Elaine is retiring, for those of you who do not know, on June 30th. Elaine's in her 25th year here at Youngstown State in the Athletic Department. In 2002, she was named the university's Senior Woman Administrator. Elaine oversees the academic and eligibility requirements for YSU student athletes, interprets compliance issues, and supervised the women's basketball program, soccer, softball, and the track and cross-country programs. She's a YSU graduate who is also a four-year letter winner on the Penguin softball team back in her day. Let's have a nice round of applause for Elaine Jacobs. Elaine, please stand. She will be missed. Now, tonight's banquet, as most of you know, helps raise money for championship rings. This past year, we had several champions in the Horizon League once again. It all centers around track and field. Both the men's and women's track and field teams won a pair of Horizon League titles. The women's track and field team won their third consecutive indoor championship and their fifth in the last 6 years, finishing with the second most points in program history. They also captured their sixth straight outdoor championship, posting the second highest point total in Horizon League history. As for the men, their track and field team won the fourth consecutive Horizon League indoor title, setting a school record in points, which was also the second highest point total in league history. They then shattered the Horizon League record for the highest winning team score en route to capturing their third outdoor championship in the last 4 years. Congratulations to head coach Brian Gorby, his staff, and all of the student athletes. If they would please stand at this time, those in attendance, we want to thank you and congratulate you for your great work. You know, it's not always about what they do on the field or on the court or on the track, but more importantly, what our student athletes do in the classroom. There are now more than 400 student athletes here at Youngstown State University, which makes this banquet just that much more important. Academically, a total of 293 of them have a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or better, tying an all-time high. 64 student athletes earned a semester GPA of 4.0 during the fall, an all-time high. Plus 34 student athletes have a cumulative 4.0 GPA through the fall semester, an all-time high. The women's basketball team has the highest cumulative GPA of 3.73. Collectively, all of the sports now have an average GPA of 3.2, an all-time high. Obviously, they're not all here tonight, but our student athletes in attendance, please stand. This is about you and your hard work, both in the classroom and on the field. Now, let me see if I get this part straight. As many of you know, the university's We See Tomorrow campaign is the most ambitious undertaken in YSU's 112-year history and the 54-year history of the YSU Foundation. Now, when it began, the hope was to reach the $100 million goal by June of 2021. However, they exceeded that goal roughly 18 months earlier than expected and have now raised their sights to $125 million. The money raised is being targeted to a variety of areas around the campus, including providing scholarships and student work opportunities, endowed chairs and professorship positions, campus beautification enhancements, and creating a new excellence center on the south end of campus. One of the men responsible for this is our first guest speaker of the night. Would you please welcome our president, Jim Tressel.
Thanks so much, Rob. And on behalf of our entire Youngstown State University family, we thank all of you for being here. 30 years of this extraordinary event. It's amazing the way that our community, our Penguin Club, our fans have stepped up to make these 30 of the greatest nights that we've ever had. As Rob mentioned, that we've been very fortunate on our We See Tomorrow campaign, but really the person that's to be applauded for that is our president of our YSU Foundation, our leader in that campaign, along with his campaign cabinet committee. Jocelyn Linsalata is the campaign chair. So if Paul McFadden and any of the folks from the YSU Foundation, please stand up and be recognized. They're here somewhere. There we go. You just have to look around the room and know that we're very, very blessed to have so many people believe in Youngstown State University, to understand the importance of what it means to our community and to our region. When you see those student athletes stand up, we're so very, very fortunate to have 430 plus student athletes representing us all over the country, working extremely hard, doing a great job in the classroom. This is one of the highlights of the year when you get to see them out of their uniforms and you get a chance to talk to them and find out what their dreams and their goals are for the future. It's such a blessing to have a tremendous athletic department. It makes a difference in our community and on our campus, and we can't thank you enough. Tonight is about Dave Collins and his family and Diamond Steel as Penguins of the Year. And you just have to look at the front cover of the program to understand the way that Dave Collins thinks. It's all about the group. It's about the team. He didn't want to be on the front of that cover by himself. Paul McFadden has had a chance to sit with him a couple different times. One of the highlights for me always at this banquet is to listen to Paul McFadden's introduction, because Paul McFadden is a Penguin. He's a graduate of YSU. He's worked his entire professional career here, and he'll have a chance to tell you much more about Dave Collins and the family and Diamond Steel. But one thing I recall vividly is there was a core group of people way before this ring banquet started. Joe Malmaser, Chuck Perizich, Jim Morrison, Arnold Collins, Sonny Smith, and on and on and on, that had a chance to build this to what it is today. And tonight we're fortunate to recognize Dave Collins, his family, Diamond Steel, and have another celebration for an extraordinary place, for the impact of an intercollegiate athletics program on a university and on a community. So on behalf of all of us at YSU, thanks for being here. Thanks for all that you do. Student athletes, coaches, thanks for all that you do. And we look forward to honoring Dave Collins and his family. God bless, and go Penguins.
You know, one of the things that President Tressel has been able to do, amongst the other multitude of things that he has done to beautify this campus and bring it to the forefront, is, if I'm not mistaken, the figure I saw last night says that 70% of the enrollment now at Youngstown State comes from the 5-county area, which means the university is now starting to attract an increasing number of students from outside that area, whether it's international students or students from across the country. And, they've made it more of a campus and more of a place that everybody likes to call home. And, no longer is it just Youngstown State, but it is becoming a national state university. So we want to thank President Tressel and his foresight for that. As many of you know, the Penguin Club and its members are a vital resource for the athletic department here at YSU. They help our teams compete at the highest level, and their support of events like tonight is imperative for our continued success. Now, while most of you are already members of the Penguin Club, I'd like to bring forth the president of the Penguin Club, Dr. Daryl Mincey. He'll tell you more about the importance of becoming a member of this great organization. Doc?
Every time I give one of these talks, I always scare Rob because I bring up this huge number of pages until you realize that I'm almost blind, and so every page has about 10 words on it. And I've also learned that there's a conspiracy against the Red Jacket Club. You can't do Red Jacket with a red curtain. Thank you, Rob. On behalf of the Penguin Club, I would like to express my thanks to everyone in attendance today, especially the student athletes that strive throughout the year to represent Youngstown State University in competition, the classroom, and the greater community. I would also like to recognize the coaches, advisors, and other members of the athletic department for their assistance in the development of student athletes that we will recognize tonight. To Dave Collins and his family, please accept our heartfelt appreciation for all that you've done to support YSU and the greater Youngstown area. To football head coach Doug Phillips, welcome. The Penguin Club is currently composed of approximately 600 individuals. It is open to everyone. One does not need to be a former athlete or be associated with YSU to join. It is administered by the Board of Trustees, which is listed on page 49 of the program. With the Penguin Club board members in attendance tonight, please stand up to be recognized. The purpose of the Penguin Club is to contribute resources in support of YSU student athletes, academic, athletic, and personal development. Let me relate some examples of our efforts with more detailed listings being presented on the Penguin Club webpage. We do have some overlap. About 30 years ago, Joe Malmazer invited me to my first scholarship ring dinner. Tonight it is a tremendous honor for me to describe the Penguin Club Joe Malmazer Scholarship Fund. These funds are generated from an approximately $1 million endowment. It currently provides roughly $31,000 academic scholarships. Recipients of these funds span all Olympic sports, and recipients have academic majors housed in all university colleges. The Penguin Club also provides various tools, including state-of-the-art computers, software, and technical support to facilitate the learning experiences of the student athlete. Student athlete academic successes will be further highlighted at the Scholar Athletes Awards Banquet on Wednesday, April 29th in the Chestnut Room. Some examples, though, of our student athletes' academic successes include all 20 sports holding a combined 3.19 GPA, with 17 teams having a GPA above 3.0. And as Rob said, this includes men's swimming and diving with an overall 3.5 GPA, and women's basketball a 3.8. 5 YSU student athletes, women's basketball players Sarah Cash, Mary Dunn, and Melinda Trimmer, a women's tennis player Anam Hassim, and women's track and field Olivia Jones earned Google Cloud Academic All-District accolades. Kyle Hedges was named to the College Sports Information Director's Academic All-American Division I First Team. Over the past 20 years, the Penguin Club has contributed to YSU over $8 million in revenue, which represents about 60% of the club's total revenue garnered. These funds have gone to enhance the institution and the ability of our students, athletes, to compete. The YSU Penguin Club has contributed $1.5 million over 20 years to expand the number of sports teams, the construction of new locker rooms, softball and soccer facilities, the Watts Center, and the Don Constantini Multimedia Center. The Penguin Club also provides support for end-of-season team banquets and, as is important to some players here, scholarship rings. Some athletic accomplishments over the past year include men's and women's indoor track and field and men's and women's outdoor track and field capturing Horizon League championships, and rings will be given to these teams to mark their achievement. YSU bowling is currently ranked 8th in the country. Pretty impressive. YSU women's golf won 4 tournaments during the 2018-19 campaign, and women's basketball went 22-10 during the season to earn an at-large berth in the WNIT. Morgan Cole and Nicole Soquatrito, I knew I was going to do that, were named to the YSU Women's Cross Country All-League First Team and Natalie Fleming All-League Second Team. Morgan Cole was also named Horizon League Freshman of the Year. Tyler Pullman and YSU's Men Cross Country First Team, was named to the YSU First Team, and Chris Butler to the Second Team. To support outreach efforts, the Penguin Club hosts several activities every year, including the dinner tonight, the Scholar Athletes Banquet, the Penguin Club Scholarship, the YSU Football Alumni, and the women's basketball golf outings. Also the night at the races and the Penguin Club Jamboree. Would Jim Morrison, Tom Morella, and Andrew Wingard please stand? I see one went up. Andrew? If you'd like any further information regarding these events, please contact one of these individuals. The Penguin Club owes a great deal of gratitude to them. By spring of next year, YSU Athletics will have 21 individual sports competing. That's a pretty impressive number if you look around the state. This is going to challenge the Penguin Club to maintain its support of the YSU student athlete. As a result, we are instituting a membership drive termed the March of 1,000 Penguins, which is planned to increase the membership in the club, obviously, to 1,000 members by June of 2021. We need all the members in the Penguin community to assist us in this effort. In 2019, the Penguin Bridge Builders Initiative was established to provide a development mechanism for our former student athletes to more engage with Youngstown State University, our current student athletes, the community, and each other. In one of the first talks I heard President Trussell give, he expressed athletics as a window into the institution. Do you remember that? In that case, my hope is that the Penguin Club members can be the ones holding the bottles of Windex. Thank you.
I was going to put that jacket on, but that thing's heavy. That's a wool jacket. I'm sweating enough as it is. I'm not putting that thing on. Thank you, Doc. As most of you probably know, it's a big week here at Bigley Center for men's and women's basketball. We have 4 games in 4 days. The women will play on Friday and Sunday as they look to build upon their big win this past weekend over Cleveland State, with games against Detroit Mercy and Oakland, respectively. Meanwhile, the men host the top two teams in the Horizon League on Thursday and Saturday, beginning with first place Wright State on Thursday and second place Northern Kentucky on Saturday. We'd like to bring forward, with his team currently in third place, the men's head basketball coach, Jared Calhoun.
Thanks, Rob. Ron asked me to keep this real short and brief. You guys are all short. I just want to really personally thank all of you guys in this room. It's been a really, really fun 3 years. This year has been really special for our team. We have some real goals that we're trying to accomplish. The key word that Rob said was currently, because in the Horizon League, anything can happen week to week. Our league is really, really strange this year. But you guys have been an unbelievable fan base this year. We look out, our kids come out, and I hear them talking about it all the time. Before practice, the crowds have been incredible. They really have, and we really just want to ask your support one last time this week. And hopefully next week as we get ready to, or the following week as we get to host, the first two rounds. That's what we're really trying to accomplish. We're trying to become the first team in history to make the NCAA tournament. These are real things that can happen. And we've used the word together since I got here. And when Ron talked about this job, everything that he said has been true. That we will have a fan base, we will have a staff that will work with you. The community's been awesome. I know, when I got here 3 years ago, I didn't know a lot of you. I've tried to get to know each and every one of you, continue to build on that. I didn't know Rob Schmidt at all. I have learned that he is a terrible loser. He loves cheeseburgers. He snores a lot, loves Mountain Dew. But I've really, really got to know Rob on a personal, and he gives me a lot of interesting stats to use with our team. And we have a real chance, if we can do what we're supposed to here the last 4 games, to host the first 2 rounds. We've only played in one postseason tournament since we've been Division I. So we've got to take it step by step. And I just want to, I haven't got a chance to meet our football coach because I know what he's going through right now. Everybody's tugging and pulling at him, and they want him to speak at this, they want him to speak at that. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. He's going to have his entire football team there on Thursday night. We made a call over to the football office and said, hey, we're at every game. We need some support. And he said, Coach, we got you. They're bringing the entire team, and I think that speaks volumes about you, Coach. Can't wait to see you kick some butt. We'll see you on Thursday. Make sure everybody calls their friends here the next couple days. Don't come alone. Bring your friends to the game Thursday night. And please support our women's team. Our women's team has battled through a lot of injuries this year. Coach Barnes is coaching his tail off. They're coming off a big win, and they've got games Friday, Sunday that we'll be at as well. So go Gwins.
Thank you, Coach. I'm not that talented. I got to put that thing in this holster. I can't shoot off the cuff like President Tressel and Jared. But best of luck to our teams, and I do want to thank Jared Calhoun for his friendship in the last 3 years, and all that he's done for this program. And we're right on the cusp of turning the corner in this league, and he's right. I hate losing. I don't think there's anybody in this room that likes losing, and I've been around this Horizon League long enough. I'm tired of being at the bottom of the standings. I'm happy where we're at, and I'm happy with our coaching staff. So best of luck, Coach Calhoun, his staff, and his players this week. A lot of times people will ask, how can you talk so fast on the radio when you do the men's basketball games? Jared hit on it. It's because I'm on my 4th 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew by the 10-minute mark of the first half. And then I go right home and go right to sleep. All right, at this time, I would like to welcome a person who will become a very, very familiar face, if he isn't already, around the YSU campus. A native of nearby New Middletown, he returns to the Valley after spending 3 years in Cincinnati. With nearly 25 years of football coaching experience, including 6 seasons at the FBS and FCS levels, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the 8th head football coach in YSU history, Doug Phillips.
And Jared, I haven't met you yet, but I look forward to it. Our boys will be there Thursday night. It'll be a warm-up for our 6 a.m. workout on Friday, which I cannot wait. And Daryl, I don't know about you, but I got 3 different memos. They said, Coach, don't wear my pink coat. Okay, and I let Sarah wear the pink coat tonight, but 3 different people told me it's going to be a red background. So, yes, it is. But a great man once told me, and there's a lot of great men here. It's not you, Bobby. It's not you, K-Dog. Okay? It's not you, Bobby. But a great man sitting at that table once told me, and I've used this since 1991 when I came to the dinners that are here from the Penguin Club. It's not about where, but with whom. And when I walked into this banquet center tonight, this is the whom part. When I see former mentors that helped me develop as a football coach. When I see former high school players. When I see the Collins family, Dave, Marianne, Jonathan, and Shelby, who was their gym teacher in elementary school. I was their gym teacher. And I remember every day with you. To former players that now are best friend, Jeff Wilkins, first player. I remember Coach Tressel saying, your first job, there's a young man on the field, that's who you're going to coach. I made him what he is. You're welcome, Jeff. But to be able to come back home, see friends, community members, it holds so true. It's about the with whom. And I'm grateful and blessed that I was able to be hired as the next head football coach at Youngstown State University. So I thank those people. When I went into the interview process, I had one thing: be myself. This is the right job at the right time. It's going to happen. So I tried to be myself. Simple formula. What do we got to do? We got to recruit the very best players. We got to be relentless. We got to keep players home. We got to beat other schools in a 60-mile, 300-mile. How do you do that? You build relationships. You get those young men in your office. We get them on campus as many times as possible and show them the importance that the whom part is more important than the logo that you put on your chest. The second part is retaining. How do you retain players? You got to retain players by building relationships with your players. You got to make sure that they want to compete not only on the field, but in the classroom. Because I don't know how you can be competitive on the field if you're not competing in the classroom. And the last part is to make sure that we develop. How do you develop? We got to be different. To win our league, we got to be different in the development phase, in how we train them in the weight room, how we train them in the off season, where they put their heads down each and every night, the food we put in their bodies. So it's recruit, retain, and develop. In the first 10 days, they say, Coach, what's it been like first 10 days? It's been exciting. Because the number one thing I wanted to do is sit down with each and every player across from me in my office, and I wanted to get to know each and every one of them. Because again, it's not how much I know, it's how much I care. I think that was your father, right, Coach Tressel? And be able to get to know them. And I met every player last week. Made sure that was the importance of them being able to come in and explain who they are, where they come from. Number 2, I thought the most important thing is I want you to know that we as leaders serve the valley. So I tried to hit as many places, and it's not just a 1 week. You know, I got to do a good job once in a while shutting the door and doing football, but I'm here to serve the valley in any capacity that it takes. Those, to me, are the most important things that we need to do in the first 10 days. And the last thing is surround yourself with great people. I told the kids I got to make tough decisions. But I hope that the decisions I make, I'm putting them number one. And that I'm going to make sure that I hire the very best coaches that are going to develop them, that are going to work with them and teach, be great teachers of the game, and they're going to build relationships with those players. It's been exciting. It's what I signed up for. It's what I'm excited to do for the next 90 days as we prepare for spring football. I hope each and every one of you get an opportunity to come by for spring practice, which we push back to after spring break. We're going to do a red and white. We got to set a date. And I'd love all of you to please stop by and say hello. Thank you to the Penguin Club. Thank you to all of you. It's nice to be home. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. You know, I know we brought up Coach Calhoun and Coach Phillips, but I'd like to recognize all of our coaches. With those in attendance here tonight, please stand. I'd like to recognize all of our coaches for their hard work and everything they've done to help guide our student athletes on and off the floor. Don't be shy. All right, at this time I'm going to have you look at the video screens here in just a second. We're all obviously very proud to be part of the family here at Youngstown State. And as Mary Dunn from the women's basketball team shows us, that includes her fellow student athletes. Please look at the video boards if you would.
Here's a look at what being Y and proud means to the athletes of Youngstown State University.
Being a Penguin is being fantastic.
Being a Penguin is being together through the goods, the bads, the highs, and the lows.
Being Y and proud to me means that no matter where we all come from, we all come together at YSU and we're a family.
Being a Penguin gives me the opportunity to have a free education.
Being a Penguin is being grit youth.
It means having grit.
Being a Penguin has helped me become an independent adult.
Being a Penguin is being part of a family.
Being a Penguin has allowed me to be an All-American. Being Y and proud is bleeding red and white.
Being a Penguin to me means being able to represent YSU sports team.
Being a Penguin has allowed me to create lifelong relationships with a lot of different people.
Being a Penguin means being a part of a family away from home.
Let's go.
Being a Penguin to me means having the opportunities to work at these awesome facilities.
Being a Penguin has allowed me to be competitive and live out my dream.
Being a Penguin has allowed me to make friends from all across the country.
Being a Penguin means trusting one another.
Being Y and proud to me means loving my school and holding on to the memories forever.
Being Y and proud is representing the name on the front of the jersey rather than the back.
Being a Penguin is getting it out the mud.
Working hard and getting the chance to represent my school is what being a Penguin means to me.
Being Y and proud means having a sense of honor associated with going to this university.
Being Y proud is being all in for Youngstown.
To me, being a Penguin means having a family away from home.
Being a Penguin means being a part of something that's bigger than myself.
Being a Penguin means that I get to travel across the country to play the sport I love.
Being Y and proud is doing what I love every day at a school I love.
Being Y and proud has given me the opportunity to succeed beyond what I ever could have imagined.
Being Y and proud means knowing you chose your dream school every day.
Being a Penguin is an honor.
Being a Penguin has changed my life.
Being a Penguin has allowed me to make lifelong relationships.
Being Y and proud is something I'll never stop being.
Nice job by Mary Dunn putting that together. You know, one of the highlights of this night, as everybody looks forward to, in addition to honoring our Penguins of the Year, is getting to meet our student athletes as they sit at your table here tonight while you eat, and then having an opportunity to have them come forward and share their experiences here at Youngstown State. Our first student athlete to come forward tonight is a member of the YSU women's bowling team. Last season as a junior, she was named the team's most valuable player while earning honorable mention and all academic honors in the Southland Conference. This year, she has a team-high average of 200 with a high game of 256 and already has 3 top 10 finishes. She is among the nation's top 10 leadoff bowlers in strike percentage. Her coach says when she starts to roll and everything starts falling, she giggles when she throws strikes. I mean, she giggles a lot at the alley. She is majoring in psychology, a recipient of the Lester F. Donnell Scholarship, a native of Homer Glen, Illinois. Please welcome Nikki Mendez.
Good evening, everyone. You all look lovely, and it's an honor to be speaking in front of you here tonight. I would like to start off and say, on behalf of all student athletes, congratulations to Dave Collins, the Collins family, and Diamond Steel Company. This is a huge accomplishment, and we're very proud of you. We would also like to thank the Penguin Club for all that they do for YSU athletics, and thank you to everybody in this room. Your continuous support and donations mean the world to us, and we would not be where we are today without the opportunities that you provide. On a personal note, I would like to thank Coach Doug, my teammates, and my mom for being here tonight. I truly couldn't be up here without your support. It's crazy to think that 4 years ago, I was starting my new life in Youngstown, Ohio. I sat in this very room and watched and listened to all the speakers and wondered what was in store for me and how amazing it would be to one day talk about what I did in my years at YSU. I was a young freshman who was unaware of the amazing opportunities that would develop for myself and the program. Myself, Rachel, Daryl, and Ashley Kolb were part of the first ever recruiting class of Youngstown State's bowling program. We were all new to the program and in our first year of being college athletes. We gelled quickly and reached for common goals. My freshman year, we ended the season ranked 24th in the country, and today we are ranked 8th. How crazy is that? Our program has gone through some changes in the last 4 years, but that hasn't stopped us from accomplishing so much in a short time. And we couldn't have done it without each other, the support of the athletic department, and YSU as a whole. Special thanks to President Trussell, Ron Strollo, Elaine Jacobs, Emily Wallet, Rebecca Fink, John Vogel, the equipment room, and Marty Hayden. You all have had a special impact on the bowling program as we have gone through our journey, and we can't thank you enough. Now back to my girls. As I thought about what I wanted to say tonight, all I could think about was how much this team means to me and how many goals we have reached and how many more we will attain. There's a lot of talent on this team, and the future is bright. For instance, we have a freshman, Megan Grams, over here tonight, and she is a true firecracker and very dedicated on this team. I have made countless memories with these girls, from van rides to ice cream runs. It's safe to say that there is never a dull moment, and I don't know how Coach Doug handles us. But at the same time, I don't know how we handle him. He always knows how to make us laugh, even if the joke might not be funny. But when he first came onto the scenes, we could see that he was going to make a difference, and we were ready and determined to leave our mark. Coach Doug is a huge reason why we are ranked 8th in the country. He's an amazing coach, and we see how much he wants us to be successful. He is the glue that keeps us together. We develop game plans, we're confident, and we're a team. Team YSU. I couldn't see myself bowling for any other program. As my dad always says, you can never work too hard to be good. I love YSU, and I'm proud of my university. I hope I make you proud to be a Penguin. Go Gwens. Thanks.
Very nice, Nikki. Thank you. We wish Nikki, Coach Kaburski, and the women's bowling team the best of luck this weekend. They'll be at the Big Red Invitational in Lincoln, Nebraska. Our next student athlete to come forward is a senior on the YSU baseball team. It's really a remarkable story that he's about to tell you. After redshirting last season due to an injury, he returned to the mound on Saturday to make his first start since May 5th of 2018. The left-hander allowed just 2 runs while striking out 7 over 7 innings in the Penguins' extra innings win over the University of Houston. Yesterday, he was named the Horizon League's Pitcher of the Week for the second time in his career. majoring in marketing management. He is the recipient of the Ice Castle Fund Scholarship. Let's have a nice round of applause for Akron native Collin Floyd.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight and represent the YSU baseball team and YSU athletics. It's truly an honor, and I'm extremely blessed. Before I talk tonight, I would like to thank a few people for making Youngstown State and Youngstown State athletics an experience I'll never forget. First off, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to speak in front of all of you. And second, for giving me the strength to speak in front of all of you, because I'm not a very good public speaker. I would also like to thank Dave Collins, the Collins family, and Diamond Steel Construction for their endless support to YSU. You, your family, and company support is unmatched and will forever be grateful. Your dedication to Youngstown State is what makes this university special. I would like to thank President Jim Trussell and his wife Ellen Trussell for making YSU not only an outstanding university, but making it a place I can call home forever. I would like to thank my coaches, my teammates, and my family for their endless support, pushing me to become better every day, and teaching me to be selfless because there's a bigger picture to all of this. Finally, I would like to thank all the people behind the scenes, the Strollo family, Emily Wallet, Elaine Jacobs, Tom Morello, Rebecca Fink, YSU Strength and Conditioning, YSU athletic trainers, equipment staff, academic advisors, media team, janitor staff, and the rest of the YSU administration I might not have mentioned. But most of all, the fans, donors, and supporters of YSU and YSU athletics. I know the spotlight a lot of times doesn't get shined your way, but without you, none of this would be possible. So please give yourselves a round of applause. You know, I'm supposed to stand up here and tell everyone my journey and why I chose YSU, and my journey up to this point. But I think that would be discrediting every athlete in here and not here tonight. We all have stories that need to be heard, so tonight I'm going to give a message instead. Whether it's signing day or walk-on day, nothing is more stressful than choosing the college you want to go to. Even though they say it's a fun process, it's really not. Choosing a university means you're investing everything about yourself to one place for 4 years or more. But choosing a university to commit to for 4 years or more and compete in athletics is a whole other workload a lot of people don't understand. The city of Youngstown has always been defined as a tough place to live and a tough place to work. I know when people hear that, they immediately think negative of the city. But when I hear that, I think of Youngstown of only being built for a place for certain people, tough people. Not everyone is tough. Not everyone can handle Youngstown. So when I look at every athlete here and not here tonight, I see a lot of tough people who are willing to face a lot of challenges to become the best. From 6 a.m.s, sometimes 5 a.m.s, to class all day, study tables, workouts, practices, games, traveling, community service, meetings, and all athletic events, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few things with all that madness. You might find time to sleep and eat. But we don't do it because we have to. We do it because we want to. For how much we dedicate our lives, sports is a privilege, not a requirement. We play sports because it gives us something to work for. It keeps us competitive. It gives us a family. It's given me 40 brothers that have my back. It gives us a dream, adversity, humbling experiences we'll never forget. Places we would have never seen, feelings we can't reenact, a community to represent, and most of all, it still allows us to be kids again. The amount of dedication it takes to be a student athlete can sometimes make you question whether or not you even want to play sports. But for every athlete here and not here tonight that wears a Youngstown State uniform, when they play, the uniform says a lot more than Youngstown State. It tells your commitment to the program and the community. It tells your highs and lows. It tells your failures and successes. It tells your blood, sweat, and tears you've put in. It tells your passion to the game, but most of all, it tells your story. Every time you put on the YSU uniform, you're putting on your story and telling it to everyone who watches you. Last month, we all suffered a tragic accident, a helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughters, and 7 other passengers. And as tragic as the crash was, Kobe Bryant's story will live forever. Everyone knows Mamba mentality, but the only way we saw that was through how he played his sport. Every night Kobe put on his Lakers uniform, he told his story that not only impacted LA and the country, but the world. He inspired millions and millions of people. But also as tragic but also the tragic death of Kobe Bryant showed us that life really is too short, and it can be taken away just like that. So in closing, understand as Youngstown State athletes, we have a responsibility to inspire, to touch lives. We represent a university and a community as one. Everyone's stories come together to create a brotherhood and a sisterhood who have the same goal to win a championship. But throughout the journey, cherish every moment of it, whether it's games, practices, conditioning sessions, meetings, schoolwork, cherish the journey. Don't waste one moment. Don't go through the motions. Don't look back and play the only if I would have game. Attack every moment as if it was your last, and don't hold back. Do the little things right, represent yourself in a positive manner, be selfless, be kind, be honest, sacrifice because you're willing to put in the work and not expect a reward. Stay humble, hold yourself accountable, hold each other accountable, play for each other, be leaders, and most of all, be tough, because that's who we are. And I promise, if each of you take that approach to your team and life, there's going to be a lot of rings coming our way. Thank you for your time.
Well done. Thank you, Collin. Also, best of luck to Collin, Coach Bernalini, and the YSU baseball team. They're off to the College of Charleston this weekend to open up a 3-game series on Friday. We'd also like to recognize a couple other students who are and are not here tonight. First off, we want to recognize Derek Skinner. I know he's here. He took the photo before. Where's Derek at right now? He's on one of these two sides. There he is there. Derek is the recipient of this year's Chuck Perizich Scholarship. It is awarded to students who assist in the athletic communications department in honor of the Vindicator's longtime sports editor, Chuck Perizich. The recipient of this year's Bruce Burge Scholarship is Nicholas Hall. He is not here. This annually goes to a student who assists us in the athletic marketing department. Now, before we honor our 2020 Penguins of the Year, I'd like to recognize the past Penguins of the Year. If they would please stand when we announce your name. Last year's recipient, the Leiden family. Someone from the Leiden family. Also, Dave Dybel. I know Dave's here. Dennis and Janet Haynes. The Hively family. Dr. Daryl and Vicki Mincey. Ed Reese, I don't know if he came back. If not, Danny can stand in his place. Reed and Judy Schmutz. President Jim Tressel. Jeff Wilkins, who owes Coach Phillips his Super Bowl ring. And the YSU football alumni. If those people would stand here as well. It's my honor now to introduce another past Penguin of the Year, currently the president of the YSU Foundation. He and his staff, as President Tressel had remarked, are largely responsible for surpassing the university's We See Tomorrow campaign of $100 million. This proud YSU graduate is here now to introduce to you our 2020 Penguins of the Year. Say hello to Paul McFadden.
Thank you, Robbie. It is a great honor, Dave, Collin's family, to introduce you this evening. I echo President Tressel's comments when I met with Dave. I've known Dave for many, many years, but we had lunch and we've talked quite a bit recently about this evening. It's about family, it's about family, it's about Diamond Steel, and it's about family. At our lunch, he told me 10 times, Shelby's coming all the way back from California. Shelby's coming all the way back from California. I think he's a little excited you came all the way back from California, Shelby, for the dinner tonight. To know the story of the Collins family and Diamond Steel and David, you need to know about his relationship with Clarence Smith. Clarence Smith, former Penguin of the Year, Compco Industries. Arnold and Clarence had a partnership that ran Diamond Steel and Compco for many, many years. And to know what's going on in Dave's life and his family's life now, they still are affected very much by that alliance between Arnold and Clarence. Dave was born in Youngstown, Ohio. He attended Liberty High School, graduated in 1965. Like so many local kids, he matriculated to YSU to study accounting. He had 2 jobs while he was at YSU. He was an accountant. An apprentice accountant at Compco. That's a new term for me. Now I'm going to lose our student athletes here. And he pumped gas at a gas station, which I had to ask him tonight. I said, Dave, did you open the hood? I mean, did you squeegee the windshield? Yeah, I squeegee. He even said he checked the air in the tires. So that sounds like a Norman Rockwell painting, and that also dates you quite a bit, Dave. He continued his career at Comco, continued to hone his skills as an accountant until one fateful day in February 1976, he was called in to Clarence's office with his father, and they said, "We're transferring you from Comco to Diamond Steel." And Dave said, "Okay, great. What is my job? What are my duties?" And they told him, "You'll figure it out." I know there's HR professionals here tonight, and everyone, there's regulations, and Dave's been at Diamond Steel for over 40 years. His job description to this day remains, "You'll figure it out." So last week I said, "Dave, you told me you'll figure it out. You have to tell me, what do you do at Diamond Steel with that job description?" He said, "Well, I'm an accountant, purchasing agent, truck driver, mechanic." So we need to ask Betty Jo Licata of the Williamson College. That's a new track we need to offer in the Williamson College. Accountant, purchasing agent, truck driver, and mechanic. Dave went to Diamond Steel in 1976, and the rest is history. There was a handful of employees back then. There's now over 100. He started talking crane jargon with me. I don't know anything about cranes. They have the largest crane in the region, and they now have over 30 cranes, from 4 cranes to 30. This largest crane in the region can lift 275 tons. I don't even know what that means. But I do have a car that has 4 tires, and he told me this crane has 106 tires, so that's a big crane. We've all driven down the highway and been caught behind a Diamond Steel behemoth crane going down from time to time. Diamond Steel's had a tremendous impact on our valley. One of Dave's great prides is driving around. You can't go more than a half mile or a mile, and you run into a project the Diamond Steel Construction Company played a part of. The new DoubleTree Hotel, downtown, WCI in Warren. The St. Charles Church Tower in Boardman, Diamond Steel, the only company with the capability to lift that church tower. If you see anything done at the Stambaugh Stadium Loges or DeBartolo Stadium Club, Diamond Steel, the only company in town that can reach that high with those capabilities to help with the stadium club. He shared one nice job that came back to him. Remember back in the days we had Mahoning Bank in downtown, real big up on the top. They had Mahoning Bank letters, and they were sold to Sky Bank. So they called Dave and they said, "Hey, can you switch the letters from Mahoning to Sky?" "Sure, we could do that." So he did that. A couple years later, Sky Bank called him and said, "Hey, we've been sold to Huntington Bank. Can you switch the letters from Sky Bank to Huntington Bank?" And that worked for him too. It's hard to find a nonprofit organization in the Mahoning Valley that has not been touched by Dave, the Collins family, and Diamond Steel. Their philanthropy has been profound. Dave has been very active as a board member. He's on the Grow Mahoning Valley Board of the Eastern Mental Health Association, Greater Youngstown Crime Stoppers. He's a senior warden at Christ the King Church in Columbiana. But many things they do quietly, and we don't even know it. For over 40 years, Diamond Steel has gone and harvested, transported, and put up the holiday tree in Federal Plaza free of charge to our community for over 40 years. The last 3 years, the tree broke on the way, on the back of the truck. But all 3 years, Dave figured it out. He's been a member of the Penguin Club for over 30 years. They have a really cool loge in Stambaugh Stadium right on the 50-yard line. Dave and his father, Arnold, are the only father and son president combination in the history of the Penguin Club. Arnold was president in 1991 and 92, Dave in 2003 and 2004. His family is here with him this evening. His father, Arnold, his mother, Jean, are not with us, but they're certainly with us in spirit. Mary Ann and Dave have been married since 1980. Congratulations. Shelby is here, as I was told countless times at our luncheon. Jonathan works with Dave at Diamond Steel along with his brother, Larry. It is for all these reasons that it's only appropriate this evening that we thank, acknowledge, and congratulate the Collins family and Dave Collins for all they've done for our community and for the YSU Penguin Club. Dave, it's an honor to call you to the podium as our 2020 Penguin of the Year.
To tell you the truth, I think I'd like to listen to Paul McFadden for another 5 minutes and then we could leave. Welcome again to all of you. Thank you for coming to this 30th annual Scholarship Ring Banquet. We are truly honored to be a part of such a successful event. Congratulations to our new head football coach, Doug Phillips. We look forward to a great year. Thank you. The Collins family has deep roots in this occasion. In fact, as you've heard prior this evening, my father Arnold Collins, Ray Travellini, and Joe Malmazur were instrumental in the first annual Scholarship Ring Banquet. Arnold was also president of the Penguin Club in 1991 and 92. And I have on his tie, and I have on his ring from the 11-0 season, too. I thought those should be here tonight. My family and I have been proud to continue his legacy by contributing time, talent, treasure to the Penguin Club since his passing. My mother, Jean Collins, had the only assigned seat in the Diamond, Steel, and Compco Loge, front row on the 50-yard line. In fact, President Tressel was heard saying after visiting that loge, Jean Collins has a better seat than I do. It is just not possible for me to separate myself, my family, and Diamond Steel Construction Company. We're so intertwined as to be the history of one naturally includes all of us. The philosophy for tonight. In life, it is important to support successful venues that contribute to society. The Penguin Club is an important part of Youngstown State athletics. In turn, the athletic department is an important part of Youngstown State University. YSU has become a larger and larger part of the city of Youngstown. Their payrolls, the trickle-down effect, and the property management that YSU has been able to accomplish have had a huge impact on the north side and downtown Youngstown and the whole area. The people in this room have the ability to continue this success. I ask that you look inside yourselves and continue the positive trend. Diamond Steel this year celebrates 92 years of existence. I did not start the company. However, I've been there for 44 of those years. What's been the reason for Diamond Steel's success? The people surrounding it. Customers, employees, vendors, business agents of the various trade unions we employ, our own board of directors. These are the people that come together to create our business. Each is important. I would like to thank all of our customers, vendors, and my friends who are here tonight for their continued support. In addition, I would like all of Youngstown's Diamond Steel's current employees and retirees to stand this time. I thank you for supporting us and making us as strong as we are today. We have a special group that's special to me, the business agents of the trade unions that we employ. And I think they're over in that area. Would our business agents please stand up? I know Tony Deli's here, Carlton Ingram, Kenny Sabo. Thank you, Carlton. Thank you. Thank you all very much. We may disagree from time to time, but we're never, ever disagreeable. Okay. This time I would like the members of Diamond Steel's Board of Directors to stand who are here this evening, and I'd like to introduce each of you. Okay. Not here this evening is Clarence Smith, Jr. or Greg Smith. Joe Hauser. You didn't get the cue to stand up, Joe? Stand up, okay. Ryan McBride. John Irvin. My brother, Larry Collins. My sister, Argene Spate. Wife, Mary Ann, who's not standing up. Thursday, she gets her left knee replaced, so we'll appreciate that. Son, Jonathan. daughter Shelby Collins. Thank you all for coming. Now, before I introduce my family, I have one special friend and mentor that needs recognition. He's not here this evening. Clarence Smith, Smitty. Many of you know him. He and my father were the best friends to the degree that they were just super special to each other. After my dad passed away in 1995, I've not been the same, but neither has Smitty. When he gave me the chance to purchase Diamond Steel, I was so honored. And Smitty, I hope that I've done you and Dad proud. Thank you. Now, family, please stand. All of you. Okay, start off, niece Amanda Wells here, my brother and sister-in-law, Jim and Linda Cranack, another brother and sister-in-law, Jim and Valerie Wells. My brother Larry and his wife Phyllis, my sister Argene Spate, and her husband Jim. Larry works at Diamond Steel, supervising the shop, kind of. Argene is the CPA for Yurchik and Davis in Canfield, and Dad finally did get his accountant, so there we go. Jonathan is the treasurer of Diamond Steel. He works in our office, does our payroll, pays our bills. He loves accuracy and new trucks. Shelby, merchandise planner at Joe Lynn in Huntington Beach, California, YSU grad with a major in fashion merchandising. Good common sense, and Shelby's a thinker. I think she gets the long distance travel award tonight. Okay. I'm so proud of Jonathan and Shelby. They both have found success in their own way, and I love them very much. Thank you. And Mary Ann, well, she married me on December the 27th, 1980, and her life has never been the same since, I can tell you that. She came to Diamond Steel in the 2000s to bail me out in the billing department and stayed 15 years. She serves as corporate secretary and office advisor. She gets angry when I buy more cranes, that's for sure. She has given up a lot to support me in my travels with Diamond Steel. None of this would be possible without her effort. I love her very much. And now, President Tressel is yawning. It must be past his bedtime. Paul McFadden is tapping his watch, and Ron Strollo is pulling his hair out. So I would like to say good night. Thank you for this great honor that you have given to the Collins family and Diamond Steel Construction. May God bless each and every one of you and grant you safe passage home. Go Penguins.
Dave, you got the same speech I did from those three individuals regarding the time, and you were fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a new record. No? You're saying you did it quicker? You didn't do it quicker. It's not even 8:25. That deserves a raise in my pay. Right? I don't know who can authorize that, but somebody's got to do something quick. All right, just a reminder before we send John your way. Both the men's and women's basketball teams, again, have 2 home games each this week. They're biggies. The men and women play 4 games in 4 days. Hope to see you at Beagley Center for each of those games. The softball team's in Virginia this week to play in the Pirate Classic hosted by Hampton. The women's tennis team is in Las Vegas this weekend for matches against UTEP, UNLV, and Weber State, whereas the men's tennis team is at Western Michigan on Friday. The men's and women's swimming teams, along with the diving teams, are competing in the Horizon League Championship starting tomorrow at Oakland University in Michigan. And next weekend, the men's and women's track and field teams compete in the Horizon League Indoor Championships. We wish all of our teams the best of luck. Again, thank you for being here. Hope you made a new friend. Hope you realize how important you are to not only the area, but to Youngstown State University. Thank you for being here. Drive safely.